Show prediction edition. Hey, we got a couple of good fights coming up this Saturday night, and I just wanted to put my prediction video in for the contest that we have going on YouTube and see how we do. Now, the fights last week were, to me, a lot easier to predict. I had a high level of confidence when I made those predictions. I just felt like Gamboa would beat Motagua, and I really felt confident that Lopez would defeat Luevno. I just felt, a certain confidence level. When you're picking something, sometimes you feel confident about it, sometimes you don't. Now, this week, I don't feel as confident about the fight between Antonio Demarco and Edwin Valero. Now, Edwin Valero is something else. He has 26 fights, 0 losses, and 26 knockouts. I mean, that you don't see that too often. Now, the quality of the opponents, I'm not sure about, but still, when you go in the ring 26 times, you win 26 times, and you come out with 26 knockouts, and most of them have been in the first round, which is all the more phenomenal, which makes my prediction, I'm going with Antonio Demarco in a decision. I think it'll be like a 7-5, Demarco winning 7 rounds out of 5. And like I said, I don't feel too confident saying that because Valero, of course, I mean, he's got that power and he can end this thing with one punch. But just watching Demarco, and he's progressed in a lot of his fights as he's been fighting, he just seems like a patient fighter, someone who's going to take his time in the ring, who's not going to rush things and get himself in trouble with a puncher. He's got the reach advantage, and I believe he's going to use that jab to keep Valero away from him. And the other thing I like about Demarco is the willingness on his part to take this fight. Once you get a belt like he's attained a belt, and then to go in and fight somebody like Valero, that's a big risk. I mean, your career can just go on a downward slide if something bad happens in the ring, like you get knocked out in the first round. I mean, you're not going to be headlining many cards again if something like that happens. So he has a willingness to fight, and I feel like he's very confident about his abilities. And I think also he has a good training team. And if you look at ringtv.com, they had an interview with him I read, and he talks about his strategy. He's going to have multiple strategies. If something don't go right, he's going to adjust. And that just shows you that this guy takes serious the mental aspect of the sport of boxing. In boxing, man, you've got to know it's as much and more so in most cases mental than it is physical. The ability to have a strategy, to think in the ring, and to adjust and to adapt to what your opponent is doing is critical to success, unless you're fighting somebody that you're just totally overmatching and you can go out and knock them out. Now, Valero, of course, like I said, 26-0, but some things about him kind of concern me that I've read. Of course, he has not been able to be licensed in the United States, but on a couple occasions he had a motorcycle wreck some years ago, and he had a blood clot on his brain, and the commission would not certify him, but they did in Texas, and he fought a fight there. But then this fight that's coming on has got to be fought in Mexico because he couldn't come to the U.S. He had visa problems because he had a DWI. So, and the other thing is, I read something by Doug Fisher on ringtv.com, and I'd read it on Ring Magazine as well, is that he had a trainer, a very good trainer, and he just decided he didn't want that trainer. He kind of does his own thing, and the trainer said he's a good fighter, and they interviewed him, said he thought that he would beat Demarco, but he said that Valero kind of wants just a mitt man, just somebody to go in there and hit the mitts and stuff like that. It's like he does his own thing. And I guess why wouldn't you? How can you argue with success? You've got that power and you're knocking people out, all 26. Then you've got to have confidence in yourself that you're doing things right. But what about the quality of opposition? What if Demarco is a good step up? And then how does he adapt if he goes in and he starts headhunting and he can't get to Demarco because Demarco's keeping him at bay with his jab? I just see Demarco. Like I say, I'm not confident. I may have to eat my words here because Valero is quite something, but I see Demarco winning this thing by decision. We'll see what happens. Now, the other one, Tomasz Adamek against Jason Estrada. I think Jason Estrada, former Olympian, I think he's going to play right into Tomasz Adamek's style. I think he's going to come forward, and I think Adamek is, you watch Adamek, and he just, very compact, jab, straight right hand, and he's just real compact with his punches. And I was watching on YouTube, I was watching Estrada, and man, he's a tough guy. He hadn't been put to the canvas, but he's 16-2 and only 4 knockouts, so he doesn't apparently have the big power. But man, he swings really goes after him when he swings. And I think these guys that really rear back and swing, if somebody's there and just boom, boom, and somebody with the power that Adamek has, like when he fought Galata there, I think it'll play right into his hands, and I think he will stop him. I think it's going to be either stoppage, and I'm going to say round 8. I think it'll be a technical knockout. I think the corner will throw in the towel, or the referee will wave it off, because I just feel like Adamek is going to punish him. But we'll see what happens on that one. But I'm saying Demarco wins by decision, and I'm saying Adamek wins by TKO in round 8. And that's the way I see it. We'll see what happens. For now, it's Rousey. I'm out.